The sacred drum of the ancient drummer, a spiritual folk tale from the heart of Africa. In a land where the skies once spoke in rhythm and the rivers hummed to the beat of life, the drum was more than an instrument. It was the voice of the universe. It echoed the laughter of the ancestors, the warnings of the spirits, and the promises of the unborn. In this land stood an ancient village called Duma, nestled between sacred hills and whispering forests. The people of Nduma were known across the continent for one sacred inheritance, the drum of the ancient drummer, carved from the heartwood of a tree that no longer grows, its hide stretched from a lion that gave itself willingly in a dream. It was said that even children still in their mother's womb would sway gently when the sacred drum was played during rituals. Upon birth, they were wrapped in rhythm and trained not just to hear the drum, but to feel it in their bones, in their spirit. For generations, only one chosen drummer in each era was allowed to play the sacred drum, not chosen by the people, but by the drum itself. It would only sound for the one whose heartbeat matched the rhythm of the earth. This drummer was called the keeper of echoes. But now a great silence had fallen upon Nduma. The sacred drum had not been heard in 80 years. The last keeper, old Malolo, vanished on the night of the great eclipse. He marched into the forest of forgotten names, the drum on his back, whispering to it in a tongue no one else remembered. He left behind a prophecy. When the rains no longer return and the children forget how to dance, the drum shall call forth its new voice from the ashes of sorrow. Now the land was cracked and dry. Crops failed. Babies were born without laughter. The trees no longer sang in the wind. And deep beneath the silence, a young orphan girl, born without known parents, but raised by a mute grandmother, began to hear faint rhythms in her dreams. Her name was Kamali, and she had never touched a drum in her life, but her feet danced as if she had played for centuries. The elders watched in secret, in awe and fear. Some believed old Malolo had returned in her spirit. Others warned she was cursed, for no girl had ever been chosen by the sacred drum. But when Kamali reached her 15th year, something happened. In the heart of the forest, where no paths remained and time bent like the branches above, the drum of the ancient drummer began to sound again, faintly, then louder, as if calling someone home. The Sacred Drum of the Ancient Drummer, Part 2. The Awakening of Naledi. The drum's call grew louder, but only Kamali could hear it. One moonless night, her feet moved in her sleep, dancing to rhythms only the stars knew. Her mute grandmother, Mandai, sat watching, tears in her eyes. She had kept a secret for 15 long years, one she could no longer hold. In the early dawn, Mandai led Kamali deep into the cave of whispers, a sacred place where echoes did not die but lived forever. There she opened a clay pot sealed with cloth made from bark and stars. Inside was a beaded necklace, a carved royal token, and a letter written in ancient Ngoni script. Kamali's real name was Naledi, meaning star. She was not a mere village girl. She was the lost princess of the Ngoni kingdom, stolen from the palace as an infant during a time of betrayal and war. Her father, King Zuberi, once ruled a vast and powerful land where the sacred drum was played to summon rain, renew peace treaties, and birth kings. But